my fellow gamers? We're here today in the glorious world of Elden Ring once more. It's a little foggy this morning. Hopefully it'll clear up as our story progresses. I, a Z-list VTuber, have decided to do a tier list of all the Elden Ring bosses that have achievements tied to them. As you may be able to tell, microphone in hand once more. Hand behind my back, so I'm not doing the getting ready to revolver ocelot somebody. We've got good old Margit. Good old Morgott. We love the guy, we hate the guy, we think the guy's cute. You fight him like 3 or 4 times throughout the entirety of the game. And you know what? He's a pretty cool guy. He's got two things he likes to do. Call you a foul tarnished, and tells you to stop being so ambitious. And you know what? I can appreciate a guy that's got an agenda. I can appreciate a guy that's got an agenda. I gotta stop fucking repeating myself, because it's not funnier the more times I say it. It's not funnier the more times I say it. Margit's actual boss fights are really fun. In his first boss fight, of course, you're going to Stormvale Castle, and he goes fucking foul tarnished, quit being such a fucking stop poo-pooing on my Riz, foul tarnished. Stop skibbidying my toilet, foul tarnished. Shoot me. Anyways, yeah, Margit. He's an Eben guy. He's real wow. So I'm gonna put him. I think he is a good. Morgott's such a fun boss fight, because you get to bring Melina if you want. Melina, whatever you want to call her. So maybe just for the fact that we have to fight him 3 times, or we can fight him 3 times, I'm gonna give him an A tier. Margit / Morgott. He is our first A. He is the what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. He's the base. Base of which we will kind of tier things off of, you know, because he's the first. He's close to one of the last bosses you fight. Got Malekith. You know, if there's one thing I don't like, it's Malekith's boss fight. Maybe I'm just going to judge him off the fun of the boss fight. So, Malekith? Not a very fun boss fight. I'm going to be honest. Especially with that Draconic Tree Sentinel right outside his door. If you don't feel like dealing with that, you got to run past it every single time you die, and you will die on Malekith. You will die on Malekith. You will die on Malekith. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna give him we're gonna give Malekith a C tier. Not a big fan of him. Oh ho. Look who has arrived. Look who has arrived. Magma Worm Makar. Magma Worm Makar? There's so many fucking magma worms in this game, and I hate every single one of them. The boss fight is dumb. The boss itself is stupid. And also, you want to know one more thing? You can kill him in 45 seconds. Yeah, that's right, I said it. 45 seconds. Because 30 seconds of that is him charging into a wall and getting hit in the ass by you. So, Magma Worm Makar and every single Magma Worm on... No, I think Magma Worm Makar is the only one on this list, because these are all just the ones with achievements tied to them. Because, if I were to do every single Elden Ring boss, we'd be here for 5 hours. So Magma Worm Makar, you are firmly in D tier. Do not like Magma Worm Makar. Unfun boss fight. Dumb boss fight, even. pointless boss fight even. You can skip him. You can skip him by finding both of the medallions for the deck dislift. You can skip Makar. That's not a good look, Makar. You fucking failure. Okay, anyways, moving on. We got Loretta. Is this Halig Tree Loretta? This is Halig Tree Loretta. So Halig Tree Loretta, I think, is the firmest B tier I've ever seen, because she has some cool moves. It's a pretty flashy fight. The arena's cool looking, but it's just Loretta, you know? Just shoot her with some fucking Scarlet Rod arrows and she's dead in like 2 minutes. It's not that bad. It's easy. Yeah, I'm gonna stick it at I'm gonna stick Loretta at B tier. I can't speak today. All right, anyways. So we've got who's next here? Is that it sure is Lich Dragon Fortasix. So one problem I have with a lot of the Souls games is that the dragon boss fights suck ass. The dragons are too big. They've got weird moves that you can't really see their body for most of. And the Elden Ring dragons are the same. However, if you keep your distance, only go in between attacks, and hit them where it hurts, the dragons in this game are very fun. Also, the dragons in this game actually fly sometimes, which, you know, is a feat, quite frankly. So I think I'm gonna put Fortasix at A. I enjoy the Fortasix fight. But yeah, I think it's a boss fight that a lot of people will miss because it's kind of a hidden boss. You have to do Fia's quest line, or if you don't want to do Fia's quest line, you have to go up the Tower of Lernia, get the curse mark from Ronnie's corpse, and then bring it to her in what is essentially one of the most hidden areas in the game. So, you know, I wish it could be an easier to find boss because it is quite fun. The Death Lightning is a very nice touch. All the everything is very cool about it. The only hang up I have on Fortasix is that cuz he's got the two spells. He's got the two incantations you get from killing him, from his remembrance. And one of them is completely useless if you don't intend to PvP. And that's the what is it? The Death Lightning. The Death Lightning as an ability for the player isn't very good. But his other Ancient Dragon Lightning Spears, or whatever they are, very cool. I like them. So yeah, A tier. I don't need to defend myself, but I will explain myself. So next we've got, what is that? The Leonine Misbegotten? So you have to kill this guy if you want A, the achievement for Leonine Misbegotten, and B, the achievement for the legendary armaments, because he is guarding the Grafted Sword. The Grafted Sword kind of sucks. So let's see here. The boss fight sucks. He just becomes a normal boss later on in the game, or a normal enemy later on in the game. You see him like 3 or 4 more times at the Halig Tree, at the Capitol. You see him in other boss fights, like the one to get the Golden Order sword. You also need to fight a Leonine Misbegotten. So I think just for seeing him a lot, I think I'm going to give him a C tier. Maybe even a D tier. I think he's pretty C tier by default. So I think I'm going to give him a D tier. I don't like him. I don't like his moveset. I don't like his demeanor. Not a fan. Not a big fan of Leonine Misbegotten. I don't have much to say about him. Bro wants to be Artorias. Bro isn't Artorias. That's all I'm going to say. Next up we have, who's that? Who's that down there? It's my boy, Horalu, Chieftain of the Badlands. He's gonna use his Earthshaker to kill you. So we've got good old Horalu, Chieftain of the Badlands. One of my favorite boss fights in the entire game. Not discounting the Godfrey part of his boss fight, because that's also a big part of it. He's S tier. Straight up, he's S tier. Also, you can get the Earthshaker ability and his axe from the Remembrance, I should say. Quite frankly, kind of epic. Kind of Eben, if I do say so myself. I don't have much else to say besides this is my favorite boss fight of the game. It's just kind of a warm-up for Radagon, but you know what? It's better than Radagon's boss fight. It's better than the Elden Beast boss fight. It's more fun. It's interactive. It makes you think. It makes you use your brain. It makes you need to use your timing to jump over his Earthshakers. It needs you to absolutely be able to time your rolls correctly to not get grabbed by him. That's what a roll is, by the way. That's how I symbolize a roll. We've got... What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that white meatball? Godskin Noble? Is that a fucking Godskin Noble? Well, I'd say the Godskin Noble. You see a good couple of these guys throughout the game. So I'm gonna go with, maybe a C tier. Because you fight these guys a lot, and they're not that interesting of a boss fight. You know, they really could have been better. I get that, you know, the whole thing is the Black Flame. They do the whole Black Flame thing, and then they do the, like, they do their Noble Presence, and they roll around, and that's just kind of an obnoxious part of the boss. It's just like Magma Worm Makar, where if you do it right, he's just rolling into a wall for 30 seconds while you just pew, 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 you just plug him full of fucking Scarlet Rod arrows. So yeah, he's going C tier. He's a little bit better than Magma Worm Makar, but not by much. Oh, and next up we have the Godskin Duo. So funnily enough, I do actually like the Godskin Duo boss fight. It's interesting. There's some dynamicity to it. Is that a word? Dynamicity? It's a genuinely pretty dynamic boss fight. This is the boss fight that I rely on Mimic Tier the most for. Because I just need Mimic Tier to keep one of them busy while I work out, while I undress the other, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay, anyways, we're gonna put him at a B. We're gonna put him at a B. The duo together is just a smidgen better than the Godskin Noble by himself. Godfrey the Golden, first Elden Lord. Godfrey the Golden, first Elden Lord. Now, I don't like Godfrey's boss fight. I don't like his boss fight as a... I don't like the standalone boss fight, I should say. I enjoy his boss fight a lot more in the Horaloo equation. The second time you're fighting Godfrey is more fun than the first time. The first time, it just kind of seems like... you know, it's like doing a written exam to get your driver's license, right? It's like, this is too easy. This doesn't teach me anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. And then you just beat his ass in fucking a minute, and you go, wow, that was easy. And then you see him again, and you completely underestimate him, and he kicks your ass. That's not even including the Horaloo segment. So I think I'm gonna put Godfrey the Golden in B tier. What's up next? Fire Giant? Fire Giant. I don't like the Fire Giant. I don't like the Fire Giant very much. I do not enjoy the Fire Giant. It is not a very fun boss fight. In terms of boss fight difficulty, he would be A to S tier. But in terms of me enjoying the boss fight, I'd say he's maybe an A tier, maybe a B tier. I think A if I'm feeling generous. And maybe a C even. I always dread fighting the Fire Giant, not because he's difficult, but just because a lot of his moves are things that you can't react to. Or the timing on needing to react to them is so specific that you're just gonna eat it. You're just gonna eat it. You better have enough HP because you're just going to eat it, baby. Okay, Fire Giant. Since I'm kind of between putting him on A or C, I'm gonna put him in B. Because I think as a set piece boss fight, it's pretty cool. I do like the lore reasons for the boss fight. He's the last fire giant, and you need to kill him so you can burn the Erd tree down. Okay, I get it. However, I don't have fun fighting him. So, it's that simple, baby. Who the fuck is this? So, Elmer of the Briar. I can't really remember him. He just kind of has the same moveset as the Bell-Bearing Hunters, right? So, I think because he's... Well, all the Bell-Bearing Hunters are technically secret bosses, so maybe I'll rank him a little lower. Let's go with C. Elmer of the Briar is a C. Let's run the Elden Beast now. I'm not a big fan of Radigan's boss fight. I feel like he has some horse shit that he throws at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, I would say the Elden Beast would be an A. But because the Elden Beast and Radigan are merged together, that might be a B. I wish I could do like soft A. This is a soft A. Okay, we're going, yeah, we're gonna put him in A. Just because I feel like the Elden Beast part of the Radigan boss fight is cool enough to make up for Radigan not being very fun. And also the fact that it is one of the few boss fights in the game where you have to completely deplete the health bar to get to phase 2 makes me a little sad. That's all I'm gonna say. Who is this? Is this my boy Placidusax? Is this my boy Placidusax up next? I tell you what. Placidusax? S tier. Fucking love this boss fight. One of my favorite boss fights, if not my favorite boss fight in the game. Not including the DLC. Placidusax is my favorite boss fight in the game. He does that crazy lightning nuke where he stabs a lightning spear into the ground and then punches it. And then it blows up half the arena. That's one of my favorite moves in the entire game. I suppose I should explain why I'm doing this now instead of when I originally beat the game on stream like 2 years ago. And all I have to say about that is me and my good buddy just beat the base game not too long ago. We did not beat Placidusax because we tried him twice and my buddy said, no thank you. Yeah, do not have Placidusax. Did not destroy Placidusax this time. However, my favorite boss fight in the game. So yeah, next up is Dragonkin Soldier. Now, I don't know which one this is, because there's 2, 3 of them in the game. If this is the one in Noxtella, or in the basin, I should say, then I suppose that it might be a B tier, because the other 2 are C tier, but this one is B tier. So I'm giving him a B tier, and I'm giving him a B tier exclusively because I love the Frozen Lightning incantation. And that is the only reason why. The boss fight is easy as hell, it's boring as fuck, but I love that incantation. Boy oh boy do I love that incantation. Is that Commander Neil or the one in the swamp? Which one is that? It's saying Commander Neil, so... Commander Neil, as a boss fight, is fine. It's serviceable. It's one of the few boss fights that has summons in this game. We're gonna go with maybe also a B. Maybe an A. I'm not too big of a fan of them. Let's go with B. Let's go with B. Commander Neil. You get a B. Okay, next up we have Astel, Natural Born of the Void. This is a boss fight that I do like. I do like this boss fight. However, I don't like the arena it's in. I feel like it could have been a lot cooler if it wasn't just in a big cavern underground. I might do an A for Estelle. A for Estelle. It is certainly one of the flashier boss fights in the game. And the gravity magic shenanigans are pretty good. I do enjoy the gravity magic shenanigans. So let's go with an A for Estelle. Fucking, what is this? The Regal Ancestor Spirit? This is just the Ancestor Spirit. Okay. I'm gonna put the Ancestor Spirit firmly at C tier. I don't have anything to say about it. But that's only a setup so I can put the Regal in B or A, because I think the Regal Ancestor Spirit's way cooler. But Ancestor Spirit, not really that interesting of a fight. It's a cool boss design. And the arena is kind of okay. I kind of have the same problem that I have with Estelle, where it's just sort of a big cavern. That's how a lot of bosses are in this game, actually. It's just kind of a big cavern. Also, why do the Ancestor Spirits have achievements tied to them? But, like, killing Grail doesn't have an achievement. Grail's Bridge. What is that? Valiant Gargoyles? That's the Gargoyle duo fight? I don't like fighting the gargoyles on the best of days. And there's just so many of them, not even including the Black Blade variants. I don't think they're that interesting. I don't think they do anything interesting. I just think they're there. And you know what? They're D tier. I'm saying it, all the gargoyles are D tier. I don't like them. Their moveset isn't interesting. The only one interesting thing they do is that they switch up their weapon. Like, once or twice a fight, depending how quickly you kill them. Okay, who's next? Rykard. Praetor Rykard. I think as one of the only gimmick bosses in the base game, he's pretty fun. You gotta equip the spear, you gotta stab him a couple times with it, and then he has a phase 2. I'm gonna put him at A tier. I love fighting Rykard. I love the quote, the funny Twitter gif of this is supposed to be a role-playing game. What role am I playing? The fucking victim. As his rancors are chasing the guy. That's a funny one. I like that. I like that clip. So from that meme alone, he gets A tier. But no, it's a really fun boss fight. I do enjoy the gimmick boss fights when they come around. I don't like a lot of them in the Souls games. Like Demon Souls, you have the gimmick boss fight against the King of the Storms or whatever. That fucking flying manta ray. And then in Dark Souls 3, you have the gimmick boss fight against Yorm. Is that his name? Yorm? The giant? I don't know. I don't like Dark Souls 3 that much. Fucking string me up. String me up for saying it, but I don't like Dark Souls 3 that much. I don't think it's very fun. Next up is Radahn. I do enjoy the boss fight. It's kind of also a gimmick boss fight, but you can just fight him normally. So we're gonna go with... I'm gonna put Radahn at B. I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for that one. Actually, I do love his Comet move a lot. So I think just for the Comet move alone, we're gonna put him at A. So we've got Morgott. I think that's Morgott. That is Morgott. Okay. So, I put Margit at A. I gotta put Morgott at A, because Morgott is an even cooler boss fight. Margit gets to be in B. Morgott gets to be in A. Because Morgott, very cool boss fight. Margit, not as cool, but still a fun one, because it's like the first real boss fight you do. So yeah, you already heard a whole bunch of my reasoning for why I like Morgott. Next we've got Mohg. Mohg. This is kind of also a gimmick, at least in terms of you need to drink the flask if you don't kill him fast enough. By kill him fast enough, I mean if you don't just walk into his room, cast fucking Terra Magica, and then just blast his ass with the fucking, with Azure's Comet, you're gonna have to drink the physic. So taking that into account, I would say, I'm gonna go with an A for him as well. No, I'm actually gonna go with a B. Because you know what? I don't like him that much. I don't like that boss fight that much. It's just kind of a normal boss fight with, you know, a couple little hazards he throws around. And then once he gets to like 40% health, he does the trace. Nahil, 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 and then you die. If you don't drink the physic, that is. I don't even know where to get the physic. I just find it every time, so I think maybe it's just something you get pretty early on. We got ourselves Shardbearer Malenia, Blade of Miquella herself. As a boss fight, you need absolute perfection to beat her. Anything short of absolute perfection is not enough to beat Malenia, Blade of Miquella. From that account alone, it's an S tier boss fight. Because you need to lock the fuck in. You need to be on your A game. You need to be on your S game, even. Just to maybe beat her. I could also say that this is a D tier boss fight, because it's clearly bullshit. But no, if you lock in, if you prep, if you game, and if you sweat, you will beat her. One day eventually. So we're gonna put her at S tier. Oh, Malenia, Blade of Miquella. You're pretty cool. Okay, next up we've got Godric. We got Garfield the Grafted. He's fucking D tier. I don't care what anyone says, he's fucking D tier. I fucking hate this guy. He's just not an interesting boss fight. Margit's more interesting than him. Quite frankly, not a fan. That's all I'm gonna say about it. The only cool thing he does is he fists a dragon neck. That's all he does. Wow, what a gamer. Loretta, this is the spirit version of her. She is firmly C tier. The only interesting thing about her fight is that she is foreshadowing. Rellana's from the DLC. She is the final boss of Raya Lucaria. A very interesting boss, only because it's two-stage. I can't get my fingers to work. It's a two-stage boss fight. She's a B tier. I gotta stop putting so many in B tier. We're gonna run out of room pretty soon here. Regal Ancestor Spirit. The Regal Ancestor Spirit. How do I feel about the Regal Ancestor Spirit? I think it's better than the normal Ancestor Spirit by like a pretty hefty margin, but it's still like not a very amazing boss fight in terms of the arena it's in. All right, Regal Ancestor Spirit. Regal Ancestor Spirit. I'd say he's maybe a B tier, maybe an A tier, soft A at best. So I think, because he's got that cool maneuver where he disappears, sucks the life force out of a bunch of the ghost animals in his arena, and gets a little bit of health back. That's kind of an interesting move. I feel like a lot of people don't like boss fights where they get health back. Let's go B. Let's go B. Oh, we got the Red Wolf of Radigan. Wabwabim. I don't like this boss fight. I don't like this boss fight at all. It's very boring. Just a lot of dodging magic projectiles. I'm gonna give this guy a fucking D. And there's so many more red Radigan wolves. Next, we have Mohg the Omen. Mohg the Omen, way less interesting than Shardbearer Mohg, so we're gonna give him C. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. I already said a lot about Mohg, Shardbearer Mohg, and this Mohg's just less interesting, so I don't have anything to say about him. Mimic tier. I'm gonna say something controversial here. I'm gonna say something a lot of people might not like. I like Mimic tier more than I like most of the bosses in this game, but I like Mimic tier because it's essentially fight masturbation. And hold on before you get your pitchforks out, before you shoot me in the head. What's funner than fighting yourself, right? So, Mimic Tier. Sometimes I make Mimic Tier even harder for myself, and sometimes I fuck him over as a joke. Sometimes I will equip him with a sword he can't use, just so he can do no damage to me. Oh, anyways, he's fun. He's fun because you can do stuff like that. He's the best boss fight in the game. He's the best boss fight in the game. If there was a mod like fucking Dark Souls 3's Cinders where I can just keep redoing the same boss fight over and over again, I'd do Mimic Tier forever. I would never play any other version of Elden Ring again because I would just be fighting Mimic Tier. Is that it? I think that's it. I think we placed everyone. All right, we did it. We got through all the Elden Ring bosses. All the Elden Ring bosses with achievements tied to them. Let me just So what's your favorite boss fight in Elden Ring? In the comments. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening to my opinion of which you don't care about. I will start streaming again soon. Because goddamn. Yeah, I don't know. If you liked the tier list, fucking like the video, I guess. If you don't like the tier list, dislike the video. If you think I'm wrong about some specific placement of something, yell at me in the comments, because I want to hear why you think Leonine Misbegotten deserves S tier. Why is my go-to just automatically gaslighting everyone? Why do I do that? That's fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, press like or subscribe. If you didn't like the video, dislike it, or tell me in the comments why you hate me. And we'll see how that goes. Thank you. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been back, and hopefully I'll get back to it soon. I still want to paint a bunch of. You hear this? Hold on. You hear that? You hear this? That's a Warhammer mini that I want to paint on stream. I'm hitting them on my index controller. Wowee. Okay. So yeah, I'll get back to streaming soon. I still just need a little more time to process things, a little more time to get ready. I'm waiting on a couple things, and then I'll be back to it as soon as possible. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one, and hopefully see you sometime at my streams, which will shortly be here on this channel on YouTube, because I've given up on Twitch. So thank you. Have a good day or night or whatever the fuck.